In this lesson, we're going to talk about the funnel system and the funnel builder as an overview. Let's dive into the screen share. So most of marketing automation and customer acquisition strategies in the digital marketing space start with a funnel. Funnels are a series of steps that you want to take a user through, and they are digital assets that exist to nurture and guide leads through a series of steps that results in them ending up somewhere in your marketing and sales process. We map that sales process back to a series of steps that you take, and that's called a funnel. So to get to funnels, we want to click on sites, and then we take into funnels. We want to create a new funnel. Now this funnel is going to be brand new, and I'm going to call this demo, but we could also go and look at the template library. And the template library has lots and lots of existing funnels that are extremely useful and proven to work. Now, funnels don't need to look like a $100,000 website. Actually, it's been proven that the less produced a funnel is, the more effective it is. So it's not meant to be the best graphically designed, aesthetically pleasing thing in the universe. Substance is better than aesthetics. So let's take an electrician funnel, and we're going to take it, and if we're using the template, there's a little bit of information around the funnel. It also tells if there's any prerequisites with this funnel. So some funnels do have prerequisites, meaning if there's a form that is embedded into this, then you need to have a form, and so on and so forth. I've chosen one that doesn't have any dependencies, so let's go continue. Okay. Click on refresh once I've done that. Great. So here's my electrician funnel. Now, funnels are a series of steps. So depending on how sophisticated you want to be with a funnel, this is going to be entirely up to you and how you're going to build it. But let's look at the layout and how the architecture of a funnel hangs together. So we've got a handy user interface here saying, here's our launch checklist and our funnel steps. So at the moment, there's only a single step to do with this funnel, and the name of that step is called home. On this screen, we're seeing the currently selected page being home and the details of the overview of this page displayed here. So these menu options here are super important. So number one, we can do A/B split testing. We'll go into more details about this in the future, but right now it's just important to know that you can and should A/B split test any funnel so that you're able to identify with data and declare a winner on the best performing funnels. We've got an overview page which displays information. We've got a products page which will link to our product sets and Stripe. And we've got our publishing page which asks us, what is the step name? That's the internal ID. And then what is the step path, which is the URL that is used to identify this step. So we could say this is the qualification page rather than the home page, and I'll go and update that now just so you can see what an updating a step looks like. Now with the qualification changes being made, you can see now that those changes come through in the step. Let's look at the statistics. So once this funnel is up and running, we're going to get the number of page views the opt-ins, the sales. So this is if there are products and checkouts attached to it. And then we'll see earnings per page view. So this is important to understand from an e-commerce point of view. How many page views on average does it take you to earn a certain amount of financial gain? This, of course, can be looked at from a date range, which is extremely handy. The other thing is you can share this funnel with somebody else. So if you're using the same system as somebody else, you can share it here. And of course, this gives us some additional information here. This resets our page views if we have been testing it and we want to clear the testing information from the analytics. The sales is increasingly more useful because this will give us the idea of if we've got customers who continually make repeat purchase with us, then we get to understand some of the transactions and behaviors that they're showing. And then on the settings page, this is an incredibly important page when it comes to funnels because we're going to have things like the name, the path, all of our tracking codes. Now this is going to be things like Google Analytics. It's going to be Facebook pixels. It's going to be all of that tracking code that you want in the head, all of the tracking code that you would want in the body. This tracking code is for third-party tracking software like Google Analytics, Facebook, etc. And then so the analytics is being triggered by activity on your landing pages and funnels throughout. This is the URL of a fave icon. This is the domain. This is whether or not you want to run your checkout in test or live mode. And then of course we can easily toggle the chat widget on or off by enabling or disabling here. Once all the steps have been added, you can add additional steps and then publish them. And once they're published, you can preview what this will look like by clicking on that button, which gives you the preview page. It'll preview with the current URLs that you've got. And you'll see here that I can now look at this funnel. Now, this is a pretty good funnel for an electrician. But now you want to make some changes to it. So what we would do is we would click on Edit Page. Now that takes us then into the builder. So the page builder allows us to add elements inside of blocks to create this HTML landing page. For instance, this is an image block. When we roll over that, we're seeing the settings for the image block with a name, CSS, the image source, the size of the image, alt text, and then a number of actions. To add a new element, we could click on the green plus button, adding in a row, adding in a headline, and that could be our call to action directly below the fold. Any changes that we make, we can click on Save. And as is noted by the blue indicator button, changes should be saved. Once that goes away, you're working with the current version, and we can click on Preview. Now, I will go into more details about the builder in the next lesson, so stay tuned for the next lesson.